How you doing?
I mean, we're in the spin room, but there's nothing to spin. You know, I think just play that all day long for the American people to see, and I think it's really just self-explanatory. It was an incredible performance. We're really proud of JD.
What was the strongest moment about the performance of JD Vance?
I thought it was absolutely incredible. I mean, I think he spoke to the people. I think he spoke from the heart. I think he spoke with facts. I think when the people that weren't supposed to do any fact-checking started playing those games, he overruled them with actual facts. I think it was just a masterclass performance.
What was the strongest moment against Venezuela?
You know, I think it's, you know, across the board he had incredible performances, but the reality was talking to the American people. I mean, you can't spin what people feel every day. I mean, I'm Donald Trump Jr. I take my kids to McDonald's, and if I have sticker shock at what's going on, that's because of the policies of this administration. I understand the media would love to pretend that there's not a long history of Kamala Harris being in office for 4 years. She's going to do all of these things. Why hasn't she done any of them yet? I think that's a real problem for them. People understand that. They can't pretend that her political career started a month ago when she was, you know, put into that position of power. That's ridiculous. She's the vice president to arguably the most absentee president in the history of the world, not just, you know, mentally, but obviously the fact that he's been on vacation for 40% of that time. She could have done any of these things. Joe Biden on The View last week said that he empowered her to do all of those things that his administration has done. And the reality is those policies have failed the American people.
Democrats said that the most important moment came near the end when Vance refused to say that Biden had won the 2020 election. What was your reaction?
Listen, I think people understand what's going on, and we're not worried about that. We're worried about this election. Hopefully people are watching the games that have been played. I don't think many people believe that Joe Biden lost 18 of 19 bellwether counties and most of the other counties in the world, but managed to only overperform in Philadelphia, Atlanta, Detroit. I mean, you know, we understand that. I think they have a handle on all of that right now. The reality is now you're in a different world. You had 4 years under the Harris-Biden administration. You had 4 years under Trump. When were you better off? When were we safer? The world is going to hell in a handbasket because they see the weakness that is exuded by this administration, the things that they focus on. You see it today alone, whether it's the longshoremen going on strike, whether it's Iran actually not just doing it through surrogates, but actually attacking Israel. That didn't happen under Donald Trump because those enemies of America, of freedom and of democracy, they understand strength and they respond accordingly. When we lead with weakness, as we have over the last 4 years, our enemies are going to take advantage of it. That's the nature of predation. That's a story as old as time. And it's been playing out for 4 years. People get it now.
Was part of the effort tonight to soften Vance a little bit to try to the election?
I'm hoping so. Well, the moderators are supposed to be fair. I think they started off unfair. I mean, I think they started fact-checking one side, not the other. We dealt with that much worse, obviously, with my father. That stopped, thankfully, because JD, again, he called it out. They had to cut off his mic, but he was 100% on the facts. They got it wrong, but it doesn't matter. We understand that bias. We don't expect an unbiased debate on mainstream television these days or from the mainstream media. That's just a fact of life at this point. We understand we're always going to be on a more difficult playing field that way. Tonight, it didn't matter. It didn't matter at all. It was just a blowout, so it was great to see.